Hi everybody, my name's Liz Rivera. I'm the Gem State Medium. Welcome back. So the other day I had posted on my page about whether or not you believe in auras, and from all the comments that I got on it, I got a definite resounding yes. Everybody seems to believe in auras, and so I thought that today I would just make a video and tell you what I see and what I know about them. What is an aura? An aura is basically your electromagnetic field that surrounds our body. It's our energy that we're all made up of, and it's projected outwards. Everything is made of energy, and so therefore everything has an aura. That includes, living plants and animals and insects, everything. Interesting. I mean, if you think about it, when the correlation between auras and ghosts, think about how ghost hunters go about getting, readings on, in their shows to detect whether or not they think there is a ghost. If they get a high energy spike, they use electromagnetic field detectors, so the EMFs. It's not a stretch to think that our auras are our souls, or what leaves our body, our consciousness, and creates ghosts. So our auras have several colors. So you have an aura that surrounds you, and then there's layers of different colors to the aura, and they'll change colors depending on your mood or what you're going through in your lifetime or at that particular time. So I've had people tell me that somebody has done a reading for them on their aura, and they'll say my aura is red. And they think that means that's exactly who they are and will always be, and that's their personality. However, what I've seen is that auras change, and they change all the time depending on what we're going through in our life. Although you might be one particular color like right now, and it's kind of your core color, I promise you that eventually it changes. And it changes because we're always changing our attitudes. We're always also learning, growing, and changing. And so in that regard, if you think about it, it can't stay one particular color because we don't stay one particular mindset. At least we shouldn't. We should always be trying to grow and change. I know I do, because I've made lots of mistakes. And so you're always trying to grow and change, and so it's always going to change. And then on the outside, there's always going to be lots of changes. I see auras all the time, and I always have. I know I don't talk about them as much as I do the paranormal or, ghosts and things. But, I do see them. It's easiest for me to see them when somebody's sitting in front of a white wall or a light colored wall. It's impossible to not see, in fact. Let's say we go to dinner or something, and somebody's sitting directly across from me at the table, and there's a white wall behind them. I guarantee you I can see their aura. And those times are kind of fun, just because you get all these, if you have more than one dinner party, I mean, not these days, but I mean, you have a few people on that side, and I can see all their auras, and it's just kind of lit up behind them. Another interesting thing is, a lot of times when people are sitting in front of a white wall or a light colored wall, I can see your aura, but oftentimes I will see behind you, or just off your shoulder, I'll see people, or a person or two, depending on how many you have with you. Some people want to call me your guardian angels, or perhaps they will say they're your guides. but everybody has one or two, and they're always around. So oftentimes when I'm talking to somebody or visiting or something, I'll also see, hey, you know, but that's a little unnerving to be having dinner and hanging out, and by the way, there's somebody behind you. Although that has happened a couple times that it was so much that I actually had to say something. One time that I had seen an aura, we had gone, and it was one of the greatest auras that I've seen, or displays of an aura. It was pretty awesome. We had gone to a little music festival sort of thing in Pocatello, Idaho here, and they had a park, and there was a little, I don't want to say a gazebo, but you know, it was a small amphitheater for just local artists to come and play. And there was a young man that went up to play. He was playing acoustic, and he was singing all his own original songs because I didn't recognize anything. And as he played, his aura around him was getting bigger and brighter, and the colors were changing in it, and it was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen. It was almost like his aura was set to music, if you can try to picture that, but it was just like pulsating and moving and to the different songs, different parts in the songs of what he was singing, and it was just pretty spectacular. The amphitheater was all white, and it was a half dome, so it made it impossible for me to not see, but it was the perfect setup to have this display. I was just absolutely taken aback by it and fascinated, and so I waited around until I noticed he had a minute, and I went and talked to him and told him what I had seen. And you know, I wanted to know about the music and his songs and what he was feeling or singing as he was singing at the time, because it was obviously moving him and his emotions. And so I wanted to know if it was taking him back to those moments when he wrote the lyrics and about who. And, you know, of course he said, you know, sometimes yes, a lot of times in fact, but there are times where the songs, even though he wrote them a while ago, resonate now in a little different way. And so I would guess that you would always get different light shows, even though it's the same song all the time, because it would bring up different emotions. Another time I had been talking to a friend, and they were going through a really rough time at that moment, and he started talking about, you know, what used to make him feel happiness, and what brought him joy. And for him, you know, it was going to church and kind of the scheduled activities and the, you know, different things like that. That's what made this particular person happy and content. Then, you know, and as he's talking to me about all of this, and I guess his faith and spirituality and stuff, his aura got brighter and bigger, and you could just see, you know, that he really felt that way. Well, then after a few minutes, he started talking about his vices and all the problems he was having, giving them up, even though he knew they weren't good for him. And he would go way overboard on all of it. And so he was really struggling. As soon as he started talking about his vices and what was really bothering him and bringing him down, I kid you not, I saw, and it started down by his feet and went up and around his body, just so fast. It was like somebody zipping something up, and it just went right around that aura and sucked it in, and it was gone. His, like, the bright part was gone. It just, that black absorbed every bit of light that he had and sucked it in, and that's all that was left, and it was just gone. And I felt like it was almost like his hope was gone. I mean, it was so overwhelming and powerful to him that he couldn't seem to quite get out of it. And I felt really bad. It was really scary. And in fact, it almost felt, you know, not good, almost evil or bad, you know. And at first I went, oh my gosh, is he possessed or something? But I don't think so. I think it was just that those vices had such a grip on him that he couldn't quite overcome them. It was a definite display of emotions right there visually. Since I've been talking so much about auras and how I see them, I want to share with you a picture that I took, just so you can have a visual of what they really look like. This picture I took back in 2014. My husband and I were still dating, and it was in the summer. It was an August evening. There was going to be a big full moon, a super moon, in fact. And so we thought, since it had landed on the weekend and, you know, we were having our date night or whatever, that we would go up to the foothills just outside of Idaho Falls and watch this moon come up. So we grab a bottle of wine and we go up to the foothills, and we're sitting in the back of the pickup truck, in the pickup bed, you know, waiting for this moon to come up. And as it starts coming up, my husband got down and he started opening up the bottle of wine, you know, and took the wrapper off the top. And he stopped for a minute to look over at the moon, because it had come up just enough so you could see the whole moon, you know, it had just risen just enough. And anyway, so he's looking over it, and I thought, what a cool picture. So I snapped a picture of him at that moment with this super moon behind him, or, you know, off to the side of him. And I captured what looks like his aura. It's exactly what an aura looks like when I see it. For what it's worth, I mean, it's an undoctored, unfiltered photo I took back in 2014. I don't know if my camera even did that on my phone yet. You know, I don't know if I even knew about filters back in 2014. But it's just really interesting to me that it just happens to be in that full moon light, you know, at dusk. And, you know, you can see the different colors. You know, it's like the yellow is happiness and unconditional love. You see kind of the greens that are more around his chest, which is, you know, down to earth and unconditional love. It's just a life force that's sensed by all. And you can also see a little bit of turquoise in there, or at least I can. And that is very much somebody who has a gift of communication, and all of them were so him. I still don't know what to think exactly about the picture, other than it was a spontaneous catch when I took it with the camera, just on my phone. None of the other pictures I took that night have that aura look to it. And I don't know. I love that picture though. I hope some of this makes sense. I hope it makes you a little more aware. And I hope I explained it well enough that, you know, you guys can get some sort of an idea about auras. Although it sounds like you have already done your research and you know about them, which is really cool that everybody is kind of on the same page here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you guys again. Don't forget and subscribe to my YouTube channel. At least that way you'll get all my videos. You can go back and look at them again if you want. I don't know if that's a good idea, but anyway, I will talk to you later, and thanks for coming back.